once again, what is going on? This is the Club of the Man 1993 coming at you for episode number 22 of my SummerSlam Retro and Review series. We now go back to August 23rd, 2009, the Staples Center in Los Angeles, California, which we know is where a good amount of the next several SummerSlams took place. There, and Brooklyn, New York, which we'll get to that when we get to SummerSlam 2015. Now, SummerSlam 2009, going into this, I knew the show was best known for the CM Punk and Jeff Hardy match, which I kept thinking was just a ladder match. It was an actual TLC match, though. My mistake on that as well. I know that. I saw this show. For the most part, it was a solid show. It felt like they're watching, some of the more recent, solid SummerSlams, like 2016. Shows where it's it had good matches, and then everything else was nothing really too special at all whatsoever. What we got pretty much. That's what this SummerSlam basically was. I enjoyed it, but I definitely feel like I was a little bit lenient on this one that I should have been. But we'll get right into it. You guys be the judge as well. See how we thought of this SummerSlam. So like I said before, this SummerSlam took place on August 23rd, 2009 at the Staples Center in Los Angeles, California. We opened up with a hidden gem, in my opinion. Rey Mysterio taking on Dolph Ziggler for the Intercontinental Championship. This is around Dolph's first days in the WWE as well. Of course, as Dolph Ziggler, not as the caddy, and also from Nikki from the Spirit Squad, of course, as well. But this feud with Rey Mysterio definitely feel is underrated. These two definitely I thought worked very well together. Mr. Rey being a solid, veteran Intercontinental Champion, and Dolph Ziggler being the upstart who was showing, especially in this match, how much potential he had that the WWE has definitely wasted or so with this match, with his talent as well. He definitely deserves a lot more than he has been given. But I thought they had a good back-and-forth match. Unfortunately, Dolph did not come with the window. Mysterio retained the championship, which is completely fine, but also some good back-and-forth action. Dolph was very aggressive from the get-go, and Rey had to adapt to it. So pretty much he made Dolph Ziggler look like a huge threat, and definitely, an upstart to the WWE in his early stages as well. Mr. Hi, I'm Dolph, and he introduced himself. He had that gimmick going on. And also his I Am Perfection. Well, it was still the same theme song for the most part he has right now. Instead of saying, I'm here to show the world, it says, I am perfection at the beginning. But yeah, so Rey Mysterio gets a win. But I definitely think this was definitely one of the best matches on the card. And definitely a hidden gem. This was really good action, I thought, between both Rey and Dolph. So Rey gets the win by pinfall. Then we have some backstage segment with Jack Swagger and MVP talking about the clash of cultures and whatnot. Set up for this random filler match they had next. Why did this match even take place? This match did not feel like a Starlet match. This match felt like a match that should have been either on Raw or even worse, on main event. On the level of Kurt Hawkins versus Heath Slater at Great Balls of Fire last year. That's what this match felt like. Except the fact we actually saw the entire match. For a match, I would say it was average, but it was pointless. Why did this happen? It just didn't. It felt completely out of place, not necessary. We had that hot opener with Mysterio and Ziggler that just tore the house down, and then this kind of just killed the crowd for quite a while, I felt. MVP gets the win with the Playmaker. So yeah, that's all I got to really say about that match. And then we had this next match, which was pretty fun. It was Crime Time taking on Jericho, Chris Jericho, and Big Show. Of course, if you remember from the podcast with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, when Jericho and Owens both talk about how they don't like, having tag team names. He just thinks they're goofy, especially Jericho. He told Big Show, don't ever refer to us as Jericho in any promos. What do you mean? Jericho did not like the name, but I did like the theme music they had. And Jericho and Big Show were a pretty good heel tag team also from the stuff that I saw. Crime Time also was really hyped and over at the time. They were probably I don't know like an early version of the New Day or something like that. I'm not sure that's going that far as well. Or even primetime players, even though they were wasted kind of also. But pretty good action here, I thought, between these two teams. Definitely, as I say, Jericho, I think was definitely a great tag team. The team that came together. They won the match. They overcame, the more popular baby faces, and they retained the unified tag team championships because this was the year where they brought they unified the tag titles together. So it wasn't just WWE and the World Tag Titles, but there was just one set of tag titles. Even though Jericho came out with 4 tag belts, they eventually merged them. So Jericho wins there to retain the championships. We had a backstage segment with CM Punk talking about this whole thing with the Jeff Hardy story, and like him the whole feud with Jeff Hardy and CM Punk was like Punk just attacking Jeff about his past and whatnot, and how he is straight edge. It kind of like eventually led to Punk debut in the straight edge society, which hindsight 2020, kind of think that that would be something that people would at least us innocent people would get behind for being straight edge and not just having drugs or alcohol just take over your life and whatnot. It felt weird. I was a little bit of a heel stable, but it was still Punk like a strong element as a heel attacking a lovable babyface like Jeff Hardy, pretty much in this whole feud. So that was a promo set up for the match later on tonight, which was the main event, which I felt definitely should have been the main event. We got Great Khali taking on Kane. I still think, personally, out of the 3 matches I've seen Great Khali had at SummerSlam, well, I can remember of at least, I still think the first one, Batista, was the worst. Again, last year, Triple H tried to make it look good, but he did the best he could. Kane and Khali, right in between there. Like, again, Khali's just boring. Like, Kane, at least, could try to make some offense out of this. I mean, Triple H, though, obviously is a better performer than Kane, in my personal opinion. I don't know. It wasn't really anything too special. It was just 5 slow minutes, pretty much, for what it was. Kane wins the match. We move on to this match. Was actually very fun. D-Generation X taking on Legacy. D-Generation X reformed again. I thought first they were reforming in 2006 and they stayed together for quite some time, but then they went off their own separate ways to do their own things. But they came back together whenever Triple H was feuded with Legacy. And although, it would have been nice to see Legacy get the victory, I do think that this match, though, definitely blueprinted, the right way of, putting over, both teams whatsoever and making it look like that, DiBiase and Rhodes did belong on that level that Triple H and Shawn Michaels were at, pretty much. They definitely got a little bit cocky towards him, which definitely costed them the match with, Shawn Michaels super kicking Cody Rhodes. But I thought it was great back and forth action throughout the match. Some great close near falls as well. Cody and Ted were doing everything they could to double team on them to keep them out of the arena. Out of the ring whatsoever. So if one got in there, they take out one of them, both of them together were pretty dangerous whatsoever. This literally definitely to I think a Hell in a Cell match. I think they had a Hell in a Cell later this year, which I think was pretty good. But yeah, either way, it's still like even though DX won, it was still one of those matches that definitely still put over DiBiase and Rhodes, making them look strong in the loss as well, like they did with Velveteen Dream and Aleister Black. Pretty much, it was on that level, like you comparing it to. But that the Generation X wins, definitely, again, a great tag match. I loved it. I thought it was a lot of fun to watch. And then of course the Woes. I believe this is the last of ECW, the WWE brand we'll have for this SummerSlam series. But yeah, it was Christian taking on William Regal for the ECW Championship. Last year when it was Mark Henry and Matt Hardy, and in like 26 seconds because of disqualification. This match only ended in 8 seconds. The match barely got started. Christian just hit the kill switch on Regal. Got the win. Afterwards, Regal, Ezekiel Jackson, Vladimir Kozlov, they all attacked Christian. I mean, I can't say it was awful, but, it just shows how much of a joke they thought the ECW brand. Why did this brand even exist in the first place if it just felt pointless? Like, I wasn't watching full time, but anytime I've checked out stuff from like the WECW era, the match they had, just like, why did they do this? Like, what was the point of this? Like, it literally felt like feel like the on the same level as the cruiserweight division was before Triple H took over. Again, cruiserweight division right now is better. It's not great, but I find it a lot more tolerable to watch than it was before. So yeah, so Christian wins in 8 seconds, beats down. I believe you see. I think Ezekiel Jackson won the title like at the beginning of 2010. After that was when it was retired, and then the brand disbanded, and then that's when they brought in the reality show NXT. And we're not going to talk about that at all. But yeah, that was a dud. And of course, we have this match to talk about: Randy Orton versus John Cena for the WWE Championship. This was in the midst of the time, especially in the late 2000s, like 2008. Well, some began in 2007 when John Cena and Randy Orton started feuding. 2008 and 2009, it just seemed that it was always John Cena, Randy Orton, and Triple H in the main event scene for the WWE Championship. And of course, I know probably people, I wasn't watching them, but this like got old after a while. Like, okay, why not get someone fresh in there? And so of course, as we all say, John Cena and Randy Orton, they've had their good matches, they've had their share of bad matches. And this match honestly was not that bad for the time being. But what really took me out of my element in this match was just all the the restarts to the match just looked so messy. The first one came because Orton got himself disqualified on purpose to retain a championship. Then they announced that, there's going to be no disqualifications in this match and it'll restart. Orton just walked away with the championship to get counted out. They said, I'm not going to have that again. And then the third time, there was a fan, I believe it was, the fan who ran into the ring and they had to pull him out. So that happened. They had to restart the match a fourth time, and then Orton went off of a distraction, hit an RKO on Cena. Well, actually, also, there was a time where Orton's feet were on the ropes also, so they had to not count this. Exactly, there was like 4 or 5 times they restarted the match. And after a while, I'm like, this is just getting ridiculous. And the thing that boggles my mind also is there are some championship matches that Vince McMahon, well, I get it at the time because, Orton had just got out of the feud with the McMahons, but why is it like, they choose the random times to restart like championship match even though they end like disqualifications or countouts like they do all the time? Like, why did they really choose to enforce it at one point, but at another point they don't? I don't get it. But yeah, this match, if it wasn't for those finishes, this match would have been, I would have said this match wasn't bad, but all those, finishes towards the end, I just didn't, that just kind of like drew my interest away. I'm just like, just get this done with. I don't care anymore. But that was that. And then, of course, we had this match, the main event, Jeff Hardy versus CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship. And unfortunately, this was Jeff Hardy's last SummerSlam until, well, last year's, even though he was on the pre-show. As he, they would have one more match after this on SmackDown, and because of that Hardy lost that match, that's what let him out of the company. But he was getting ready to leave the company anyways. But this match was awesome. Definitely, it was a perfect match to end a great rivalry between these two. Again, it started off as a face-on-face feud after Punk cashed in, and then he went even further, and then he slowly turned heel and started attacking Jeff Hardy's past and whatnot. And Punk was aggressive out of the box here. Of course, Hardy was striking back and just showing off the underdog character of him, taking all the risks and the high flying and whatnot. Nice swanton bomb off the ladder through the announce table as well towards the end. There's a lot of good spots in the match. Of course, the last one, though, costed Jeff, as they were going to take him out on a stretcher first, but he refused to do so. But then by the time he got out, it was too late, and CM Punk grabbed the title from the top of the ladder. And of course, Punk decided to brag and stand above Hardy with the title. He just won the title back. But then we hear the gong and the lights go out. Lights come back on. Right where Hardy was sitting, there was the Undertaker. The Undertaker had returned. I'm not sure how long he had been out for. This is around the time where Taker started going on his part-time schedule, I'd say. Well, not completely, because in 2010, because he was World Heavyweight Champion by the end of this year. I'd say after after WrestleMania 26 was when he started to just go more of just a part-time schedule, I feel. And same with Triple H and whatnot after WrestleMania 26. Like that's when those guys started to slow down, I'd say, a little bit. But yeah, Punk wins the title back again. They would face off one more time on SmackDown. Hardy would lose, and that would be his way out the door for WWE until he returned in 2017. Of course, Matt still stuck around until 2010, till he was released. And then, of course, their story of what happened based off the 24 special. And then Punk would go on a feud with The Undertaker and lose to him in a really lackluster Hell in a Cell match at Hell in a Cell 2009, the opener. But that's nothing to talk about right now. But guys, yeah, that is pretty much it for SummerSlam 2009. Again, not a bad show, but it had some low points in the show, especially Kane and Great Khali. John Cena and Randy Orton was kind of meh in there also because of that endings. That pointless match with Jack Swagger and MVP. Don't know why it even happened. It was just a hype killer pretty much. But I was back and forth again. But if I can grade this, I grade this like an 80%, B-. Low B- for SummerSlam 2009. What are your thoughts on SummerSlam 2009? Your thoughts down in the comment section below. And be sure as always to click my like and subscribe more content on this channel, and follow me on Twitter at DemandAirboy93. I'll see you next time for episode number 23 for SummerSlam 2010, which, as we all know, the wrong man went over in the main event. But we'll talk about that when we get there. So until then, guys, I'm the Club of the Man 1993, and I'll catch y'all later. Have a good day and peace out, everybody.